All right, we're live.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Gold Rush podcast. It's me, Rick Munoz, over here with my co-host. I am the co-host, and my brother over there is the main host, the main guy. Number five over there. He's wearing
Uh,
some memorabilia for Mr. Trey Lance, who was missed a lot, but he was there at the game today. He was up there with Kinlaw and all of them. They were watching it from a suite.
yeah,
But
fair.
anyways, guys, we're broadcasting here live a little bit after our Niners win over LA. Nothing new, and we got a couple topics here to talk about, and hopefully you'll join us and comment down below whether you think we're right or how wrong you think we are or how dumb you think we are. A comment, and we appreciate you for taking the time. So, anyways, what's up, bro? What are we gonna talk about today?
What's up, guys? So yeah, we just got pretty much three quick topics. We're not gonna be here very long. Gonna make it kind of short and sweet. Our first topic is gonna be about the 49ers defense. They just shut out the Rams. Didn't score a touchdown off field goals. You gotta
Yeah,
love that.
that's great.
We're gonna
Yeah.
also talk about our offense and about the dislike between these teams. About just you could just see it on the field and the way the players play. They play rough, they
Yeah.
play hard. We're gonna talk about that Ayuk and Ramsey situation that happened on the field. But yeah, man, let's get
Mhm.
into it. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and start. We'll start off with our first topic, which is our defense.
Mhm.
What's your opinion on that?
Yeah.
How do you think we did?
Well, I mean, there's not much new to say. The defense was elite. It really was the only one. And it's very hard to ask more of them because of how they've been performing. They've been what is it? What's the record? What have they been holding teams to? No more than a certain amount of points, right?
I think it was no
How
more
much?
than like I I could look that up real quick, but I'm pretty sure it was 19. That was it. They're
Yeah.
holding teams to under 19.
Yeah, so that's really great. I mean, I do have one point of improvement, and I think we both saw it. It's on. They got a. I don't know if they have a drill already, but it would be a probably a good idea if they would practice catching balls and shit. Because they had two missed opportunities. Luckily, one of them, I'm not sure which one it was. I think it's the one that eventually was a fumble, right? Do you remember that one? I think one of them I'm not sure what happened, but I know that Fred missed one, and then another person missed another one. Another player missed another one, and I think it became a fumble. Is that right? It was on
Uh,
a
I'm sorry, I'm kind of trying to remember here. So you're talking about this game?
Yeah, in this game. Yeah. So Fred Warner had one missed drop. It hit him like right in the hands,
Oh
like pretty
yeah, that
much
was
right in
towards
the
the end.
chest. And then there was another one by another player. I forget who it was, but he had his helmet down on the ground for a while because he knew he missed
Oh,
it. It was pretty consecutive. It was
yeah, yeah, you're
it
talking
was
about the
like
end.
maybe like in the same
Towards the end.
corner probably.
Well,
And
there's
that's just they're giving you opportunities and you got to capitalize. But again, it's hard to ask a lot more from this defense than what they are already doing. But if they want to be top tier, you know, what was that? What's it called? Undisputed fucking elite team and best defense in the
best defense.
in the league. They got to work on that, and I gotta give major props to Hufanga. Talanoa. At the beginning of the season, I like to collect cards, and I got his rookie card, his USC signature card, because I saw that he was a really good player, and I like how his style. I saw that explosiveness, his kind of like keen eyes or whatever. He's able to kind of spot the plays before they actually happen. He's got very good instincts, and I saw that, and I'm very happy for him. And I'm happy that he's on our team, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna consider getting his jersey because I
Yeah.
love the way he plays. He brings a whole different type of energy, and not to mention, when Ward gets back, it's gonna be a whole nother game too. Because
Yeah, they're saying that he's probably gonna
And
come back.
Ward,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like right now, our defense. I mean, you're right. It's really hard to critique our defense, in my opinion. I think what they're doing is it's just outstanding. I mean, they're elite at almost every position. I mean, you
Mhm.
got Hufanga. Hufanga was really probably the only question mark in our defense coming into this year, and I think he
And he's
got
a star, dude.
yeah,
He's a
yeah, like,
star,
I just
man.
the fact that he came out and he's been playing the way that he has, because I remember going into the season, a lot of people were kind of questioning that safety spot that he was going to take if they should go get Tart back, to pair him up
Mhm.
back with Ward. But
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
I'll tell you this, I, it's just I could see what the Niners were seeing in practice that they didn't go
yeah.
after Tart because I know he was
And
available when
and what
When
happened to
Ward
Tart?
was
Didn't he
injured
go to the
before.
Eagles?
He went to the Eagles, but he
Didn't
got
Tart?
cut.
He got
He got
cut,
cut. He
right?
got cut.
So
So he's
dang.
been a
Well,
free
the
agent.
Niners, you got to give it
And
to
that
them, right, for freaking seeing that already.
Yeah, and that's the thing that with me, it's like the way that I see things. I mean, the beginning, obviously, the first game against the Chicago, it was just an absolute monsoon. But even then, that was a real low scoring game, and the defense really shot itself in the foot. But from that,
Yeah,
excuse me, from that day going forward, I mean, they've just been. I mean, they pretty much shut out. They didn't shut out Seattle. I think they did allow a score, but that was just a one score, and then was it against Denver? It was a very low scoring game. It was more of a
yeah,
defense and punters. Who's the better
yeah. It was
punter?
a whole lot of
And then this
punting.
game again. I mean, you're going up against the Rams. These are the Super Bowl champs, and I know we don't. It's
Yeah,
division. It's a division matchup, and it's always very difficult. But the
yeah,
fact that our defense was able to shut them out completely, and this is a McVay offense. Obviously,
yeah.
I don't like the Rams. I don't like anyone in our division. I got nothing against them personally, obviously, but as a
I
Niner
don't got
fan,
nothing
like,
against the Cardinals. Like
but like I mean, as
whatever,
as
you know.
as a fan, when we go against those teams, there's an extra into that game, just
Yeah, they're
because
divisional.
obviously we're seeing like, okay, this is a division opponent. We don't want to lose to these people, and there's a lot of
Mhm.
trash talk between fan bases. Me and my brother, we live in Southern California. We don't live up north where the Niners are, so we have a lot of Ram fans down here, and well,
Yeah.
our interactions aren't that great
Well,
most
I'm
of
not
the
gonna
time.
say there's a lot of Rams fans because there's not, dude.
Well, yeah. Well, the ones that we do come
Maybe
across.
now more.
I'll
Now
tell you
there's more
what.
of a bandwagon Rams fans, like that
Yeah,
fucking guy that goes on the show, the Remilia guy. I hope he goes on Grant's show again and
yeah.
takes the L.
We've been talking all this crap, say that
He's like,
about
oh,
that
this and
fullback
that,
brother.
because
He
of
couldn't
this
even
and
speak
that, and
Mod.
I'm like, whatever, dude, take this
Yeah, I
fucking
see
L,
that.
dude.
Yeah,
You know?
I'll tell you what though, I was out today. Uh, I'm not gonna say where I was because I technically called out today. Um, but I was out and
What?
yeah,
Damn, bro. I'm over here fucking
no,
taking
yeah.
flights, and you're like
I went
taking
to
rest
Disneyland today.
days, dude.
I went to Disneyland today, and
Oh, that's good.
out
Lucky.
here, I think legit, I saw one Ram fan. No, two. I saw a Donald jersey, and I believe it was a Cup jersey, and that's it.
Okay,
And
sure.
out of the
Yeah.
whole day there, I was there only about 4 hours because we're only there when my daughter was in school. And
Okay.
out of the whole day, dude, I kid you not, I was so mad. I told my girl, I was like, I'm so mad. I was like, I should have brought my jersey to Disneyland because, dude, I
Yeah.
saw legit like 29er fans, like just
Dude,
like they were just everywhere, and I was like, man,
dude,
I was like, these
I
are
fucking flew. I'm in Chicago right now, guys. I flew to the O'Hare International Airport today, and the whole way, dude, rocking my Niners hat. It might be, it might be a little dark or whatever, but it's got the symbol right on the fucking
I need to
forehead
find
because
my
I don't
Niner
give a
hats, bro.
fuck,
I have no idea. I was telling my girl that too today when we were leaving. I was like, man, I cannot find any of my Niner hats. I don't know where they're at, but I need to buy
Yeah.
myself some new ones. Those new styles, the ones that are what's that brand? It's that different brand. It's like Shanahan. A lot of the team players wear that style. It's not the same brand like
I
the
like the one with like the handwritten SF, just
yeah,
SF right
those are
here,
sick.
the one that
Yeah, I want to
Shanahan
buy
wears
those.
sometimes. That one's
Uh,
sick, but I
yeah.
like trucker hats, I like trucker hats.
Okay.
I like the mesh.
Yeah, I don't.
But
I'm not
but
a big
anyways,
trucker.
yeah, the freaking let's give it up for the defense for doing such a great
Yeah,
job, and
man.
actually
Hey,
putting
and
us up.
what about Bosa, man? I mean, Bosa with two, he had 2 sacks in this game. He's always at what I think
Hmm.
5 for the season. I mean, he's on track to. He's gonna have at minimum. I mean, if he gets a sack a game, that's 17, 20 sacks of the season. I mean, he has an actual shot to be able to beat that. Because I know what was his name? He's the one. He's the guy that the Gab. What's his name? Oh my god. I'm
Oh,
forgetting his name. The guy from Fox. What's his name?
what?
He's the one that holds the record. For most
Fantastic,
sacks in the season.
fantastic, Mr. Fox.
No, what's his name? Oh my god. Damn it, I forgot his. I'm blanking out right now. But he has I think it's like 22 sacks in a season, is what he's. I think I know Watt tied it last year. Uh,
Oh, okay.
well, he has an actual chance to at least tie it or beat it, man. I mean, he is
Yeah.
absolutely balling out. Our defense, our D line is absolutely getting after the quarterback. 7 sacks, guys. Seven sacks today on
Oh, we had
Stafford.
7 today?
Yeah, we had
Damn, dude.
7 today, bro. Like that's crazy. I know their
Freaking,
offensive line is fairly, it's
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 pretty
it's
trash.
kind of
But
like
so,
our
but
offensive
ours,
line that kind of
yeah,
is
ours was
hurt.
bad too. I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
but dude, not even that. I don't think we allowed a sack this game. There was hits
I
on
don't think so.
Garoppolo, but
I think there was
he
some
he got
hits.
he
Yeah.
got the ball away. So no sacks for us. I mean, this game was a very well put together game. I was very impressed. I'm
Yeah, you got to give
happy,
it up.
and then another player that I want us to talk about. We are going to talk about one negative thing about our defense. It'll be after this top with this player. But what about Warner, man? He was flying around today. He was flying
He
around.
was
He was
doing
hitting
great,
hard. He
dude.
was getting
And
after
hey,
it.
in this podcast, if you couldn't tell, we are of the heritage of from Mexico. We are have
We're
Mexican blood,
Mexican.
and and to see Federico Warner repping the freaking Mexican flag,
I didn't see
it was
that.
very cool to see.
I didn't see that. Where was I
It
actually
was in
got
the
to the
beginning
game
of the
late.
game. They showed a
Okay.
shot of the back of his helmet, and he had a American flag and a Mexican flag.
What?
I think
I
I
didn't
think
see
he's
that.
I think he's part. He might be part Mexican, or I think he grew up like his mother or something like that. I know I've seen him in commercials like of him not explaining, but letting people know that he comes from a Hispanic heritage as well too. And so I want to give it up to Fred Warner, Federico Warner, the one and
No,
only. And come
smartly.
on,
I didn't see
Fred.
that. I didn't see that. That's pretty cool. I did
Yeah,
not
yeah.
know that.
Look it up.
I got
Look it
I
up.
got I
Yeah.
got I got late to watch the game, but when I got on the game, I think it was the I missed I missed the beginning. I missed the kickoff, but I was there for the first drive. So
It was in the beginning. Yeah, it was in the very
okay,
beginning
so then I
too.
didn't see it, but
But
that's
anyways,
pretty
yeah.
cool. I
Come
didn't
on,
know that. I
Fred.
didn't
Catch
know
those
that.
balls, Fred.
I know, man. He
I'm
he
just
had
saying.
that. He would have ended that right there, dude. That would have been a pick six, at the very least, a pick. But that was.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell he knew it too. When he dropped it, he was just laying on the
Hey,
floor. And he was just,
did you see during the game the two I think it was like Daryl Henderson and some other player going at it? Did you see that
oh yeah, and their on their sideline.
on their
Yeah,
sideline,
yeah,
right?
they were getting at. I think yeah, they were.
Uh-oh.
I saw they were going after that to separate them. I mean, dude, the fact that
Yeah,
our
the dude
offense.
fucking came at the guy, dude.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
like really tried
Well,
to
it was
rush him
targeted
or
on that to
something.
hold them back.
I
Like
wonder what
that
happened, you
that
know?
I mean, it's probably just frustration. They're probably blaming one another. Like you
Yeah,
got to do your job. Oh, I'm doing my job.
most
Focus on
likely.
your
I
job.
think
Don't
you're
focus
right.
on me, kind of a thing. Um, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Because obviously we're going to talk about our offense.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
that's
one
right. Yeah.
down thing that I do want to talk about is Cup, man. That guy continues to get open. I mean, props to him. He's going up against Mosley. He's going
Yeah.
against Ward. I mean, Lenore kind of checked him a couple times in this game to where he shut up. He kind of really kind of just plastered him. So I was actually really
Yeah.
impressed with Lenore, and I'm seeing a couple things from Lenore that really makes me understand why they're playing him over Womack. Because I know Womack is
Over
legit,
Womack, yeah, that's an
but like, I mean,
well, we don't know. He's a rookie.
well,
From what he's shown flashes. He's
he's shown
shown
a
a
lot of
lot of
he's a
potential for
promise. You know what I
sure.
mean? A lot of talent,
Hmm.
potential and things like that. But I'm starting to
Hmm.
understand as to why the Niners are playing Lenore over him, because I feel like Lenore does have a little bit more experience, so he kind of
Hmm.
understands that these receivers are probably a lot faster, play a lot harder. But I'm seeing a lot. What I'm seeing from Lenore, I'm honestly very excited. But Cup,
Hmm.
man, getting back to him, he absolutely is. I mean, he's still balled out against us. I
You
don't know
got to
his
give it to
statistics
Cup.
exactly.
There's just those players. I don't think it's any kind of knock on our defense. Cup is gonna get
No,
his.
yeah,
You just gotta make
it's not
sure
like
that he
Debo.
doesn't freaking pick you apart and absolutely destroy you because he does have that potential. He's like the Debo. He's the Debo of the Rams, but
It's kind of
not a Debo. A little bit. He's more of
he's
a
not. Yeah,
of a
he's there. He's
receiver,
there
a very good
key guy on offense.
receiver. Yeah, but that's their best player basically
Yeah,
on the
on the
offense,
offensive
So it's
side.
like, he's gonna get his no matter what. I don't think it's a very big knock on our defense because Cup, whether you like it or not, he is a very good player, and You gotta
Yeah,
give it up to
props to
a
him, man.
player that
I mean,
really puts it out there.
I guess I could see where that's there's certain players on every team that's just gonna get theirs. There's really not much you can do. Is just try to minimize as much as you can, but they're gonna end up getting their yardage, their catches. They're just the offense will find ways to get the ball into their hands.
Mhm.
Um, Sorry about that. I don't know if you guys
Well,
heard
him and Matthew Stafford are very synced. They spend a lot of time together, and that them being having that timing down to a T
Stafford
basically
looked
is
so frustrated today, man. He just looked
he was
he was
bad,
just
dude.
mad. He was bad. He was
Nah,
frustrated. You
it's
could
because he
tell that
got sacked 7 times, dude.
he was seeing ghosts in the pocket. He was overthrowing
Uh,
players. He was trying to get the ball out quick because he knew that
yeah.
offensive line was
He had a
collapsing.
few missed
It was
passes,
just
yeah,
yeah, it was just like
like
that one
the pass to his tight
pass
end or whatever that he
To Higby
missed.
that he threw
Yeah,
behind him and
exactly.
he knew it and even tapped it. He's like, but that's because of our defense. Our defensive line is getting after it. So he knows that
Mm,
he's got to get it out quick. I think who was it? I think was it Greenlaw that went through what that was kind of broke free and was about to hit him, and that's what caused the throw
the early
behind
pass or
Higby.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that. Our all in all, man. I mean, our I think I would probably label this as an A performance for our defense.
I
Wasn't
gotta
a
give it
complete
a.
shutout.
I would give it an A. Yeah, you're right. It could be an A plus if we would have had those two missed opportunities.
Yeah,
But an A is still very it's
yeah.
excellent.
That's
And it's
honestly
hard
at
to
top.
ask
The
more.
Niners, they're looking like they have the best defense in the league. I mean, they're
I think
just
so. I would say
I mean,
so.
statistics show it that I think they were second.
Oh, the
I think
Eagles have a
after
very good defense,
I,
dude.
yeah, I know, but I mean, they don't got players like we do, man. I mean, and credit to the Eagles, they're 4-0. I'm not talk bad about them. I mean,
They're doing their job.
they're doing their thing, but I mean, we'll have to see if we see each other in the playoffs or whatever. We'll
Yeah.
see who has the better defense. Um, but yeah, man, let's talk a little bit about our offense. What did you see about our offense, and what stood out to you?
I still saw a little bit of rust from both from Jimmy and from Kittle, and they're still not very, in sync. There's still a lot of they still need to practice a little bit more together, and not and I don't think they obviously I think they did pretty all right in order to win this game. They really what was the score like 9 to 20 something? But for whatever reason, Kittle has been absent. I don't know if they just got him blocking the whole time, which is understandable because the old line does need help, especially with Trent Williams missing. But a Kittle from 19, a Kittle from 2020 would have definitely caught that touchdown in bounds. And both Jimmy and Kittle now have stepped on that line, and makes it and Jimmy's hurt the team a little bit more than Kittle's, but Kittle's would have been awesome if he would have, you know, refined his skills a little bit more and be a little bit more self-aware of where he is. And Jimmy, you got to give it to Jimmy. He plays that ball very well. That was an excellent throw by Jimmy. There was moments where Jimmy was a little bit, off or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. You got to give it to Jimmy. The dude is he's just a class guy. I saw his after view interview with I forget what her name is, but he basically just says the same thing. You gotta roll with the punches and make the most out of your opportunities, and it's the truth. And unfortunately, the dude's just been rolling with the punches, nothing but punches. There's never smooth sailing for the guy because the dude tends to kind of make it like that for himself sometimes, and but I got nothing, not a whole lot of bad negative, you know, statements towards Jimmy Garoppolo. He didn't cost us the game, and that that throw to Debo where he took it to the house or whatever. If he did mean to throw it high where only Debo could catch it, then that's awesome. If not, then be a little bit more careful. But we'll never know. And the the way what history will show is that he threw a pick to Debo and Debo took it to the house and shit. So good on them. What about you? What do you think of the offense? I mean, that's my take. I
Well,
think they're a little rusty, but I think they'll get
I
better.
I think, well, from what I saw from the offense was I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate from this, but I
Yeah,
feel
I hate
like
you
the
already,
game,
man.
I feel like the game went, according to plan, right? It looked very scripted to me. I feel like the Niners kind of knew that they had to come out slinging it because even the announcers, they were saying like, the Niners got to run the football, but they weren't able to get much going. I know that, and that one run by Wilson, there's a 32-yard run to the house. That was
Oh, that
cool.
was
Those kind
awesome.
of
Yeah,
those kind of inflate our numbers. Um, but on the ground, we weren't really getting much until the end. So I think, so from my opinion, I think uh, it was very scripted in the sense of they kind of knew they were going to have to pass it out. They were going to just try to get the ball to the receivers as quick as they can because they knew that our offensive line wasn't going to be very well to hold up against uh, Donald and them. Which, credit to our offense, they did, our offensive line, they did absolutely good. Yeah, they kind of messed up a couple. That one hit that Donald had in the first quarter on Jimmy. He can't
oh
come
yeah,
untouched like
that was
that.
bad,
But
dude.
yeah, that was pretty bad. But other than that, I think our offense did good. In regards to Jimmy, I think this is as probably as best the Jim. This is the Jimmy that we want to see every week. So
It's
going
just
forward,
regular Jimmy.
realistically, guys, this is probably not the Jimmy that we're gonna see. History shows that he'll have the high games, he'll have low games. I think he's
Yeah,
gonna play consistent. He didn't throw a pick in this game. I think he's probably gonna throw picks, obviously, a lot, going into the season
not
more.
Jimmy. No way.
No, yes, right. I think this is the best version of Jimmy that we could hope for. He had 300 yards passing, but 50 of that came from that run from Debo. I
Hmm.
actually will give him credit to that because that pass to Debo, I think it was meant high because I think he saw that corner or a linebacker was coming down on it. So he threw it high to where only Debo could have gotten it. Because if he would have thrown it lower, it would have been a pick. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. I think he meant to put it up high and he to just give Debo a chance, and Debo caught it and took it to the house. You know, uh, I think that was honestly, I would probably, you know, this would probably be an A performance for Jimmy for me, just because he
Okay.
threw it away when he had to. He got the ball out when he had to. He
He
avoided
didn't throw
sacks. He
pigs.
didn't he didn't he
Yeah.
didn't really throw a pick. He didn't do. I can't off the top of my head say like a certain play where obviously there's that kid Kyle one where he could have thrown it up. The safety was crashing down. I believe it was on Debo. He could have just lobbed it over to Kyle Juszczyk, and it would have been a pass to the house. But credit to him on that one too as well. The next drive, very first play was to Juszczyk, and Juszczyk took it for like, was it 30-40 yards?
That was
Um,
an awesome
you
play,
know,
dude. He fucking leveled that guy, man.
yeah,
He
from the
freaking
end, you
came
saw
back
that?
inside and freaking
It
put
smacked
his
him, yeah, I
shoulder
like
into
that.
number
And
83, dude. That you heard that fucking pop. That shit was
yeah, you
awesome. That's
heard
why I
how,
love
yeah.
Juice.
So
His plays are electric, dude. Honestly, that guy's an
yeah, man.
electric player. I love to
And
see
that
it,
and
you know.
so for me, I guess to me, Jimmy this is an A performance for Jimmy. He did exactly where he went to the reads he had to go to, missed a couple throws that he could have probably wish he would have had back, like that use check one. I think that throw to Kittle in the end zone was an absolute dime from him because it was put exactly where it needs to be. Kittle just didn't get his other foot in.
He didn't
Uh,
drag it, yeah.
but I think I think he had a really good performance. I think our offense did very well. Speaking about Kittle, what do you think of his performance today?
A little lackluster, I guess you would say. I'm pretty sure he was an integral part in, the blocking scheme, like I stated earlier. But other than that, he's been kind of absent, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because he's getting old. And what sucks is that Charlie Warner, he had an opportunity, dude. He could have. Charlie Warner is a tight end number two, I believe. Jimmy threw one up to him, or he was wide open or whatever, and he put it right in his hands, but he dropped it. And I know we're talking about Kittle, but he's in the tight end department, so I'm not sure. I think there are. If you see that pass, you might take it as they're trying to they understand that George Kittle may have limitations, or maybe because they're starting to use other tight ends now. That Charlie Warner, in the offseason, he had a pretty good offseason, and he just got injured, I believe. And if Charlie Warner would have caught that pass, I think we would have been talking about him more. But unfortunately, he didn't seize his opportunity, or he just came up a little short. But Kittle, I'm not sure what's going on. And yeah, is there beef between him and Jimmy? Because I heard him on the Rich Eisen podcast, and he said some kind of like backhanded comment, or I don't know, it could have been taken like backhanded. Like he said that towards Jimmy, he said like one of my coaches, when he was growing up and playing football, one of my coaches, and this is not an exact quote, but one of my coaches, he gave me one of my favorite lines or whatever, one of my favorite phrases. You gotta play, you gotta play football in bounds. That's what he said, dude. That he's got to play football in bounds, and Rich Eisen said, "What does that mean?" And he's like, "You got to play it in bounds." I'm like,
Is he talking
and
about that one stepping out of the back of the end zone?
I think he was talking about Jimmy. Yeah, I don't know if it was like a playful
I
jab
don't.
at
I don't.
Jimmy, or what was it? But I'm like,
I think.
but
I,
I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, what do you think?
Let me give you my 2 cents on that. Just kind of. I don't think. I mean, was it a? From obviously this is new to me. I didn't hear this. Just from what you just said, if that's exact, obviously not exact, but if that's kind of what he said about that, I think it was a shot at Jimmy, and I think he was probably frustrated and understood that that game should have been won, but it was the performance of the quarterback that cost us that game, and so I think that might have been a shot. I don't wouldn't say there was any bad blood, but it was kind of like a hey man, you gotta do better and realize where you are in the field. This is not backyard football. There's only a handful of players that can play that way. I from what I'm hearing, I think it would be a shot. I just don't think it'd be bad blood.
Okay, and so what do you think of his performance, or his performance as of
I'm
late?
I'm not impressed. I mean, I know it's the beginning of the season still. But this is week 4, guys. And I know he missed. The first was it the first game came back versus came back. No. He didn't. He came back versus the Broncos. Was it against the
I
Broncos
think
or was
last
it
game, yeah, the last game
was the
was
Broncos?
his
Right?
first
Yeah.
game back,
He missed
because
2
Jimmy's
games.
game
Okay.
was they came
I
back
know it's week
together.
4,
Yeah,
but technically like week 2 for him, so he's probably trying to get back into football shape, taking
yeah,
those
he's been
hits and
injured.
making people miss. But haven't been impressed so far. Um, I feel like he's been very absent in this in our offense, and
Hmm.
that can be because obviously he's probably got to sit down and block more chip, players before he goes out for a route. Um, I feel like the Kittle from 2017, 2017 or 2016 when he was a rookie, and had those breaking records and stuff like that. I think that Kittle is a thing of the past, to be completely honest. And I don't want to talk bad about him. He made some plays in this game too. I just
Hmm.
think putting him up there with the players, tight ends, best tight ends. I think
Mark
he's probably still
Andrews
top
and
five. Yeah,
Travis
I would put him
Kelsey's.
still in
Yeah.
top 5, but I think Kelsey, man, he shows up every game. Every game. It's rare when you see him get, shut down or whatever. He gets his, right? And that could be because
Hmm.
of the quarterback. But at the end of the
Well,
day, man, I
he's
mean,
a more of
you
a
gotta
receiver,
know. Yeah, well, yeah, but still, I mean, like I said, Kittle was, I believe, it was 2017 or 2016 when he broke those records. The year after that, I think it was 2017. I think it was 2017, 2018, because I know the year after that, I think is when we went to the no, yeah, it was 2017 because in 2018 and 2019 is when Kelsey is the one that broke Kittle's record. And so it was 2017. And then because that 2019 season we went to the Super Bowl versus Kansas City, and that's the same year that Kelsey broke Kittle's record, and that was 2 years prior. So, anyways, I feel like he wouldn't. I would put him in the top 5. uh, I think Kelsey is more of a better tight end. He's not a better blocker. If we're talking strictly blocking tight ends, obviously he's number 1. He likes the physical aspect, but I mean, I remember Kittle showing up in the big moments, right? Showing up when it mattered, when there was a third down you needed to get, or we needed to drive down the field and get a touchdown or get into field goal range. I remember that Kittle, and I don't think this. I
Yeah.
think I think it's catching up to him. I
I don't
don't.
know. Well,
If I
either
was
that, either
if I
that, or
was the
he's just not
Niners,
getting his number called. You know.
I mean, again, we're not in that locker room. We don't know the game plans and stuff like that. But if that's how
Hmm.
they're using him, I think they're misusing him. To be completely honest, I think you could probably put another
Yeah.
player out there and maybe have the back, stand to that side, which is to the left side where Trent's usually at. Have him be on that side of
Hmm.
the field so that and have him stay in for block. I think Kittle is too important just to leave him there as a chip. To chip, I think you got to let him get out there and get in there. But again, I don't know. I think he's been absent. I think he hasn't really made a ton of plays. I don't remember him being this uninvolved in the offense. I know we got Debo and Ayuk and you know all these other players that obviously are also stars within their own rights. But
Hmm.
again, Kittle is Kittle, right? He has that physical
Yeah.
aspect. Corners do not want to go and tackle him. I would even say linebackers don't want to tackle him because he's physical at the point of contact.
He's a big guy.
I just
Yeah.
haven't seen that from him. I don't. It's early in the season, so I'm not going to say write him off. I want to see how the
Yeah.
season goes, but I do have expectations as a fan, and I we'll see how it goes, right? And kiddo, if somehow
Yeah.
you watch
And I
this
do
and you
kind of a
see me
somewhat
saying
of
this
a.
stuff, prove me wrong, man. I mean, I love you to death,
Yeah. I
but
hope he does.
I,
I
I
don't know, man. I think
I think you got a lot
honestly,
more
I
in you,
think
man.
this is going to be.
And if this is how the Kyle's trying to thinks that this is your best suited right now in this role, I
Mhm.
would say you probably tell him, man, let me go out to some passes. Let me get involved a little bit more into this offense. But
You would hope so.
that's
Yeah.
kind of my opinion on where I have on them. Might not be the most popular opinion, but that's just kind of how I feel.
Yeah, and I'll give you another unpopular opinion. And I did write this early in the, when I think I wrote this after the second game of the season, and it was more of a gut feeling, and I wrote on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. Mine is Rick Munoz, like you see it there on
Mhm.
the screen. My brother Abraham's is the Gold Rush podcast, like you see it on the screen as well. And I tweeted out, it might be an overreaction because I think we lost that when I tweeted that out. But I don't think that Jimmy's going to be here next year. And I also, I think in order for us to get better O linemen, I think they're going to trade Kittle. And the reason I say that is because of that pass to Charlie Warner. I think they're trying to get him to be the tight end now. They're trying to, what do they call it? They're trying to groom him to be the tight end. And, I miss Kittle, dude. I miss the Joker Kittle. He's got that Joker tattoo on him, and I wish he was always kind of funny, and kind of easygoing kind of guy. And maybe I haven't watched the press conferences or something, but I feel like that's missing. It kind of seems like he's not having fun out there or something. Something's wrong right now, and it might be that he's not having fun, and he's got to get back to that somehow. But yeah, the hot take is and I know other people have said it, but I can kind of see a path to it now that this team does need O linemen, and we're missing picks. We don't have any picks because we traded for Trey Lance, and in order to get picks back, you got to trade a valuable player, and they're not going to trade their defense because their defense is elite. They might trade like Greenlaw or something, but where they could probably bolster up their O line is by trading Kittle, replacing him with Warner, and getting rid of Jimmy. Well, unfortunately, you can't get anything for Jimmy, but you can get something for Kittle. I think if there's a player that gets traded this offseason, it's going to be Kittle, and I hate to say that because he's my favorite player. I have his jersey. That he was the first Niner jersey that I bought, and I wore it all the time. Since I got it, and also how I've been saying that Kittle's kind of that easygoing, make you laugh kind of guy. His abilities are being replaced by Charlie Warner, at least the receiving aspect, and the fan. Another thing that kind of keeps Kittle here and that is that fans are now holding Talanoa Hufanga as more of the face of the franchise kind of guy because he is that guy. And Talanoa, I see it in Talanoa Hufanga. I think he could be the face of the franchise as well, along with Trey Lance and Debo. You know, I could see them doing that. And unfortunately, that leaves Kittle the odd man out. And I hate to say it, but you know, I hope the game starts being fun for him again because that's when we see the real Kittle. That's when we see the Kittle that runs over people. And you know,
let me push
that just
back a
hasn't
little
been
bit
happening.
on let me push back
Yeah,
if you
go
don't mind
ahead.
a little bit on your
Sure.
take.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, go ahead.
you know, I don't think Kittle will get traded. I think it very much depends. I don't. I just think he brings something. Him and Debo bring something to this team that is more than just their physicality. It's an attitude. It's an attitude of it's me and you, and you're not going to stop me, right? I don't think Kittle would get traded. I think at the if anything does happen, let's say he has a very lackluster performance this year, I think what possibly could happen is have a renegotiation on the contract, or they'll play it out to the and activate his whatever option. I don't know his exact contract. I don't think he'll get traded. I think that they would play out his contract and then see his performance
Mhm,
in totality. And if they don't think that if with the number that he wants isn't what the Niners think that he deserves or he played or his the type of player that he is, and they'll probably give him the option to hey go look for a trade or whatever. If not, come on back. I don't think he would get traded. And as for the face of the franchise, I never put it on Kittle. I think Kittle was one of them. It's one of those names that you kind of when you talk about the Niners, you bring up the certain players, which is Debo, Kittle, Warner, Bosa. I don't think Hufunga's there. Again, Hufunga's playing lights out, and if he continues to play this way the whole year, he is most definitely going to be one of those players that doesn't be talked about. Uh,
mhm.
so that'd be my pushback. I think the only thing that can happen, I think if the hot take for the offseason for me so far, and I know this is not even part of our thing, if I, but I want to throw my 2 cents in there, is I want to, I have a feeling that Williams might retire. He's been,
Trent Williams,
he's,
yeah?
he's getting a
Damn.
lot older in age. He's
Hot
getting hurt every
take.
single year. Uh, I mean, he's gonna be out now. What is it like? They were saying possibly what Mitchell's out, which is about 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks.
Well,
I
they
think
said
he
four to
might. I
six
mean, he's well
weeks.
off. He's. I think that he might. He's getting up there in age, right? And
Mhm.
I think it depends on how the season goes. But if the season doesn't
Didn't
really
he
go
just
the way
get a
that he
new
wants it,
contract though?
about was it like two
I
years
think it was
ago?
last year.
No, not last year. It was at the end of because last year was when he was
Oh,
already under contract, and the other year was when in that offseason is when Stacy retired, and then they grabbed him from Washington. So I believe this is his third
from
year.
Staley. Yeah, that's right.
So um
Mm. Well, that would
yeah, so
suck. Yeah.
that'd be my hot take. I think that might be something that we should probably look out for. Um
Hmm.
that's just how the way I see that. But anyways, let's talk about another player that had a 52-yard run. Let's talk about Devo, man. What do you think about him? He's looking a lot more like the player we were
Oh
seeing
man.
last year.
Yeah, man. I think Debo is this seems like the Debo that we know, the Debo that we always cheer for, and that's the kind of football people want to see. They want to see some physical runs, and they just can't take the guy down. The dude is just so shifty. The dude goes one way and then freaking cuts like on a fucking dime, like they say or whatever. I don't even know what that means, but I'm gonna say it. And and he's very good, and he always fucking sticks it. He freaking gives it to fucking Ramsey, because they don't like each other either, and he's like, what, dude? What did he put? What did Debo put out on Twitter? Bring your best guy, and you're gonna lose your best hitter, because
Did he say
he
that?
tends to fucking run them over, Yeah,
No way.
yeah,
When
yeah.
did he say that? This week?
Debo put it out
Or
on Twitter. Debo put it
what?
out on Twitter. He's like, bring your best guy. You're gonna lose your best hitter because if he's coming up against me, I don't fucking I'm not going out of bounds. I'm gonna hurt your fucking guy.
No way.
And
I
that's
didn't
what he
see that.
does. That's what the dude does.
Hey man,
Debo's a beast, and I love Debo. He's a great player. And I'm glad he's with the Niners, and I'm very happy for him that he got this. Well, I'm not only happy for him, but happy for the team that they have such a great player like Debo. He is a one of a
I
kind. He is. I don't want to call him a unicorn. I'm gonna call him. They say there's probably a family of Bigfoots out there, so there's more than one. So I'll probably call him. Like I don't know. I'll have to come up with a name for him because everybody is saying, "Oh, he's a unicorn," and he's a unicorn. That means there's more than one. There's only one Debo. So what is there only one of? He's an intense player. And I think he did great today, and hopefully he can keep it up, and hopefully he can stay healthy. And well, I mean that's my 2 cents on it. I don't really have a whole lot to say other than great job. Shit. What do you think?
uh yeah, man. I mean, I'm right along with you. I think that his performances has been getting as better as the games come on.
Mm,
As the games continue, the season progresses. Uh, it's reminding me a lot of the deal from last year. Just
yeah.
harder. He's hard to bring down. I mean, he really is like a running back in a receiver's body. I mean that hit on Warren on Bobby Wagner at the goal line ran through him. Only reason, I mean, Wagner stopped. I wouldn't say Wagner stopped him. I think his teammates came and helped him. I mean,
Hmm.
he ran through him. I mean, the collision, you could see that. Wagner,
Is
he
that where he
took the
was
brunt
crawling
end
for
of
the
that.
goal line? Is
Yeah,
that the one that you're
yeah,
talking about?
yeah, the
Uh,
one where they collided right at the goal line. He was reaching out, but
uh,
his the
his knee
his
touched
player,
first. Yeah.
yeah, and I think Wagner took the brunt end of that stick. I think he
Yeah.
came later on. I think he got mad that he got ran through, and because I think they were saying that he also after that play went to go stop a fan.
Oh yeah,
But
he did. He went to go tackle the guy with the pink smoke bomb and shit. He's like, I gotta
oh
tackle
really?
something. You're right there. Yeah. Yeah, I
So
forgot.
I
I
think
honestly forgot. I forgot Wagner was there, dude. I forgot Wagner was with the
yeah,
with the
dude, me too.
Rams. Absolutely,
And
absolutely no fucking, no impact on the game and shit. At least I
dude, I
didn't
think
think so. I didn't think
and
he did that
and
great.
that just shows the physicality of Debo, man. He just does not want to go down. He will fight through anyone. He doesn't care who it is.
Hmm.
He's just
Yeah.
not wanting to go down. Though I still think he's getting into football shape because I mean, there was another run that he got caught. They caught him up from behind. Debo from last
Hmm.
year would have outran that and would have got into that end zone. Um, but I'm honestly he earned his money today. That you could see why the Niners pay him the money that he's getting paid, and I'm excited, man. I said it last year to you that I was gonna get his jersey, and I'm gonna get his jersey.
Hmm.
I'm just I mean, man, he's just him. It's like I was telling you, same thing with Kittle. Him and Kittle, man, they bring that physicality. When you talk about yak yards, you think of Kittle and you think of Debo. Those are the
Hmm.
two players that you think about before anybody else. That hey, man, receivers, even linebackers. Hell, you saw Bobby Wagner. He and this is a guy. This is a linebacker, guys, a vet that got I wouldn't say trucked, but ran through right? And he took the
Hmm.
brunt end of that stick. And Debo got up, and you could see he was like, I was this close, right? Like you didn't bring me down. Like the
Hmm.
only reason he stopped him was because I think Wagner ended up landing on his ankle, and then he held onto his ankle, and that's what stopped him.
Hmm.
But man, that was some tough running, man. I'm honestly
Hmm.
I'm excited to see this Debo back. Again, I'd give him like an A for this performance. I'm excited. It was just one of those, it's even hard to say. Like, I mean, it's hard to it's what you expect, right? We expect these things from Debo because that's the player that he is. When he was coming into in 2019 as a rookie, I mean, even then he was showing those flashes. There's just a physicality of you're not going to stop me. I'll run through you, right? Like what are you gonna what are you gonna do to me, right? But yeah,
Hmm.
man, that's my opinion on Debo. I mean, it's really not much to say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just what we would expect.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's
One of a
talk
kind
about another
player. One of
receiver
one.
on let's talk about another a receiver on the Niners, Ayuk. What do you think of his performance today?
I think he's being integrated into the offense a little bit more now. I don't think there was a big a big difference from this year to last year. At least I haven't seen it. He's still a very good. He blocks very well down the field as well, and he can. He shows that physicality like we saw in the game. Him, trying to get into scuffles, or I'm not sure who started it, but it kind of looked like freaking
It was a you
like Ayuk was just holding onto his mat or holding onto his jersey
jersey.
and trying to get a penalty or something. And Ramsey ended up grabbing him at the face mask, and then they just kind of tussled with each other. But I guess I would say it still seems like he's still a little absent. I haven't seen any kind of breakout game for him still. And I don't know why that is. I really don't. Is it that he's not being targeted, or are they still using him to clear out routes and shit like that? Well, I mean, I'm sure he could do something. I think they should give him a chance. And what did he have, like two or three catches today? I mean, that's okay. I
Something
don't
like
know.
that.
There's not a whole lot
He
to
had,
say.
I think he had a
I
little bit
mean,
more than that, but uh,
did he? I don't know,
yeah.
but I don't know. I guess his performance, I guess I would say, was a little lackluster, and I'm not sure why. I don't know what the reason is. I don't think you can argue that he's in the doghouse because he's, maybe it's that Trey is missing and he invested all this time there, but I don't know. Is it? What do you think? I mean, I don't
Uh,
have I wish I had more to say about him, but there hasn't been many plays out there for me to criticize or to appraise or to give credit to.
yeah, man. Honestly, I'm kind of there with you. I think it was a little lackluster. It wasn't very impressive. Nothing really stood out. I know there was that one play at the beginning of the first quarter. That strike that Jimmy gave to him. I just think he's not getting open. I mean, and if he is, it's not showing up on tape, or is I don't know if it's just Jimmy not really looking his way. I think Jimmy probably might have his favorites of receivers that he may want to go to before Ayuk, and because I mean, to me, the one thing that kind of stands out, the fact that Jennings is getting more targets and more catches than Ayuk, I think that's a problem because I mean Ayuk was a first round draft pick. He got drafted in the same class as Kinlaw. I think that you just I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's a really good receiver. I think something of that has to play into it. Of he put a lot of time to invest it with Trey Lance, and he was expecting more this year.
Yeah,
But same
it
thing,
sucks
man.
to
I'm
see it.
kind of on the same boat. It's just I know he's getting his targets and stuff like that. I just feel like he still has a lot in the tank that, and I just feel like I hope as the season goes, he gets a little bit more involved. He's another receiver that honestly I really like. He also tries to bring his own type of physicality. Just doesn't like to go down. That one famous jump over, when he was a rookie over the
Mhm.
Eagles, one of the Eagles corners just jumped right over him into the end zone. I think he's one of those players that honestly I think he can be a number one receiver. I see the potential that he has. Because I think Debo will always be who Debo is, which is a no is I wouldn't say a number one receiver just because he's not strictly used as a receiver. He's used in many other ways as a wide back. I don't think Kittle can be our number one just because one, he's a tight end, and he's probably blocking or chipping more. I don't see Jennings. Jennings had that one drop. I think if there's gonna be a number one receiver that comes out, that shines, it was gonna be Ayuk. I mean, he was balling out in the offseason. He was, when he was playing with Trey, in the offseason programs and OTAs and all that. I mean, Ayuk was the one coming out making plays over all the corners that we have, which we have elite corners. I think that it was that investment that he had with Trey. And I think hopefully along the line, as the season progresses, he grows some chemistry with Jimmy, and we could see that, that version of Ayuk. I think he's the one that if we are going to have a number one receiver this year, that isn't obviously traded here because we don't know the future, but I think it'd be him. And I hope somewhere along the line in the season, he kind of grows that chemistry and he comes out of that shell and shows exactly why he was a number one drafted. He was drafted in the first round. Uh,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get in. We'll skip our last player, which was Wilson. Real quick, just note on him. I think he looked explosive this game. He was hitting holes hard, and he was getting after it, man. I was really impressed with that 32-yard run. He was seeing the holes and hitting them hard. And towards the end, the first for couple quarters, he wasn't really, in my opinion, doing much. Kind of just getting stuffed at the line. But I mean, I honestly, one thing I will say is I was hoping that I was gonna see Mason. I didn't see him. I saw Ayuk and I'm sorry, I saw Debo and
Yeah.
Wilson. That
Mm,
was kind of let down. I feel like when your
yeah.
running game isn't really doing much, you gotta kind of give other players a chance, and that's one thing that Kyle has been struggling with. There's gonna come
Yeah.
teams that aren't like the Rams that know us, exactly how we know each other. That you're gonna have to throw a wrench in it sometimes, right? And that's why I'm saying that I feel like
Yeah.
this game was a very um it went as according to plan, right? Because I feel like if
Yeah.
they would have planned around the run and the first couple quarters really weren't producing much on the run, they were mostly passing. I feel like Shanahan probably would have thrown Mason in there.
I don't know. I don't think we're gonna see Mason for a while. Not with the way Richie James Jr. is playing, or Jeff Wilson Jr. is playing. I'm sorry. There's too many juniors.
Right.
But yeah, I think he's playing at a level that is, acceptable. Yeah, he seems like a very hard runner. He's got some speed to him. You could definitely do worse. He's pretty all right. He's doing just enough to keep Mason on the bench, and with him doing that, we're probably not likely to see Jordan Mason for a while. And we'll just have to accept it. And as long as we keep getting wins, I guess, that's it. I mean, Jeff Wilson Jr. and Jefe, good for him. I'm glad he's back in the lineup and that he's being used. Good for his career, and hopefully he keeps it up. Basically,
All right,
but
man. Let's go ahead and get into our last topic because we're coming close to an hour on here. Uh, let's just talk real quick about the rivalry between these two teams. I mean, it used to be Seattle and the Niners. We used to have that used to be the rivalry, and
mhm.
when it was
Still
back with
kind of
Russell
is. Yeah,
Wilson. I wouldn't really say it is anymore. I wouldn't even say last year. I think the
we beat
rivalry
them once.
changed.
We got to beat them more than that in order then to say, oh, it's
Yeah.
over.
Uh, I think the rivalry has been the Rams ever since they came back to LA because now they're a SoCal team in the same state as the
Yeah,
Niners, and the Niners there's just something there because there's no other team that's in California that's in our division. It's Arizona and Seattle, and now it's the Rams are in our state. So I think the rivalry just kind of intensifies more because of that. It's
yeah,
who owns this state, and I mean, you could see the play, bro. I mean, you could see the players were chippy. They were kind of in each other's face. That Ramsey and Ayuk, how we talked about. There was another play towards the end of the I think it was in the fourth. I didn't really see it very well, but I saw one of the Rams players come down and grab. I believe it was on a punt or a kickoff return. They were kicking off
mhm.
to us. Uh, and one of the or no, I'm sorry, we were kicking off to them, and one of the Rams players came running out and grabbed one of our receivers, and then they cut the break. So I wasn't really able to see exactly what happened there, but
Oh yeah, they
you
kept
could see
doing that, man.
you could see the intensity, man. You could see these teams don't like each other, and I will say one thing before I let you talk on this. Donald, man, you gotta man the fuck up. Sorry for the cussing. Be a fucking man. Come out here and shake everybody other players' hands. Because if you want the same respect, when you guys win and that players come to you and shake your hand, you gotta go ahead and give that. This whole running into the fucking
Yeah,
locker room, that is some fucking bitch shit, and you gotta get it together, man. That's not cool. I know you were talking all this crap on us when we were back in the off season when it was still training camp, saying, "Oh yeah, we don't like each other and I don't like them." Well, hey man, you just got your ass handed to you. Man the hell up, man. Hey man, you don't win everything, right? Come on out and shake every
yeah,
player's hand at the end of the day. This is a game, and yeah, we're rivals, but especially you being one of those leaders in that team, you got to come out and shake people's hand, man. That I thought that was very uh low class, and if I guess I would say, I get it's a
yeah.
rivalry,
Well,
but at the end of the
yeah.
day, you got to eat your words, man. Come on you were talking that shit. Come on, and be able to get it right. You got to come out here and let other players come to you and talk that shit, right? Because you were the one with your big mouth. Oh, did we lose our
Yeah.
brother?
Yeah, I don't know. Freaking Aaron Donald has kind of been like that, and he's got that personality where he doesn't like to lose. Because I feel a lot of NFL players are the same way. But yeah, you're not Tom Brady. Come out and shake the other team's hand, and tell them good game basically. And as far as hatred between the two teams, the players themselves, I feel that it's just more of the top tier players. I don't know. I don't know if I would say that the Niners really hate any of the players on the Rams because they always kick their ass. So it's like, so why would he hate? Why would they hate them? I think it's more of the Rams hating, the Niners players because they're always handing them L's. Except for the one where it mattered last year. But then again, this franchise has 5 rings. They got 2. They've beaten us once. We've beaten them now today 7 times. So who the
Eight.
better franchise is? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, 8 times. Yeah, there it
Yeah.
is. Even, but I don't know. Yeah, the rivalries are fun. It's fun to go and I hope we get to go see the game in SoFi or in Levi West. So
Yeah.
we
Hey
can
man, we really got if we make it to that game, guys, we'll do a whole little thing. We'll live stream there.
do a
We'll
live
kind of
stream from the
record. Yeah.
parking lot.
Yeah, exactly. We'll
Yeah,
show
but
everybody
like
the
all I'm
experience.
saying is that I don't think the Niners players really hate a lot of the Rams players just because like I said, most of the times they beat them. I think the hate mostly comes from the Rams side. I think maybe the play if there is a player that has hate for the Rams, it probably is Ayuk. He always seems to be getting into it with Ramsey. I think that happened last year too. But
Hmm.
to me, yeah, if there is hate, it's mostly on the Ram side, and I'm okay with that because there's only W's over here.
Right?
So whatever, And but yeah,
Yeah.
today was a great game, and I'm very happy that we're back on track. We're number one in the not us, but the Niners are number one in the division again. And we got SoCal's heart, we got California's heart over here. We're California's team. Sorry, Rams. I'm just saying, and I'm just stating the truth over here. And if you don't agree,
Yeah.
well, then you're wrong.
Right?
But
All right,
yeah,
guys, we'll
but
figure this out, bro. We're getting up on an hour. We've already hit our topics.
yeah,
We'll go ahead and cut it off here, guys. I'm Abraham. That's my brother, Richie. I call him Richie. You call him Ricky. Call him whatever you want. Go ahead and subscribe to us. I'm gonna put. I gotta figure out how to do this whole description stuff to go tag your social media stuff. You gotta go follow us there, guys. Richie, what's your username on Twitter?
it's like you see, it's Rick Munoz. It's RickMuniz, one word. I post stuff throughout the games, and then when we're coming up on games too. And then I'll also share this podcast as well. So go ahead and subscribe to this video, to this podcast too, to this YouTube channel, because we're probably going to be coming on here, once or twice a week. Probably once during the week before there's a game, and then maybe once after a game. Well, we're still working out the details, but uh, don't forget to like and subscribe and tell us how much you hate. You hate the Niners
How
if
much
you're a
you hate our
Rams fan.
opinion?
And we're happy to be here for you guys, and we're happy to take this
Yeah,
W.
man.
Let's go
Yeah, man.
Niners, man. That's all I gotta say.
It's a victory. It's a victory Monday, guys. We're gonna go ahead and have the rest of the week knowing the Niners, handed those L's to the Rams again. We ate some lamb chops today. Again, guys, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when we go live and we upload some new videos. Go ahead and subscribe to us on. I'll figure it out to tag our Instagram and our Twitter below. I'll tag my brother's Twitter as well once I figure all this out, so y'all can go ahead and follow us. But yeah, man, this is the Niners. We're all faithful here. Born and raised, same with my brother. But yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. This is the Gold Rush podcast. We're out.
Peace.